winter day in January 2013, Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada, arrived in Los Angeles as part of a solo journey across the West Coast. She was a bright, ambitious young woman with dreams of seeing the world, and her travels were meant to be an adventure. Little did she know, her journey would lead her to one of the most infamous locations in Los Angeles, the Cecil Hotel. The Cecil Hotel, built in the 1920s, was once a luxurious destination for business travelers and tourists. However, as the Great Depression took its toll, the hotel fell into decline. Over the years, it became a haven for the city's most marginalized residents, including those struggling with addiction, homelessness, and mental illness. The hotel's history is steeped in tragedy, with numerous suicides, murders, and other mysterious deaths occurring within its walls. The most notorious of these was Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, who terrorized Los Angeles in the 1980s and used the Cecil as his base of operations. The hotel had become synonymous with despair and darkness, a place where many lives had ended in misery. Elisa checked into the Cecil, unaware of its grim past, eager to explore Los Angeles. But from the moment she arrived, something seemed off. The hotel's long corridors, dimly lit and lined with faded wallpaper, exuded an air of unease. The guests she encountered were often strange, with many living in the hotel long-term under dire circumstances. Elisa, a young woman with her whole life ahead of her, had entered a place where the line between reality and the macabre seemed to blur. During her stay at the Cecil Hotel, Elisa continued to update her social media, sharing her excitement about exploring Los Angeles. However, as the days went by, her posts began to reflect a growing sense of unease. She wrote about feeling isolated and mentioned having trouble sleeping. Friends and family back in Vancouver noticed a change in her tone, but no one could have predicted the events that were about to unfold. On January 31st, Elisa visited a local bookstore where she was described as friendly and upbeat, purchasing gifts for her family back home. This would be the last confirmed sighting of her alive. The next day, February 1st, Elisa was reported missing after she failed to check out of the hotel and her family could not reach her. The police were called and a search of the hotel began, but Elisa seemed to have vanished without a trace. The hotel staff reported seeing her alone on the day she disappeared, behaving somewhat erratically. Despite the search efforts, including police dogs combing the premises, there was no sign of Elisa. Her belongings were still in her hotel room, but she was nowhere to be found. As days turned into weeks, the mystery of Elisa Lam's disappearance deepened, capturing the attention of the public and the media. On February 14, 2013, the Los Angeles Police Department released security footage from one of the hotel's elevators, recorded on the night Elisa was last seen. The footage, which quickly went viral, showed Elisa behaving in a deeply unsettling manner. In the video, Elisa enters the elevator and begins pressing multiple buttons, but the doors do not close. She then peeks out of the elevator as if looking for someone or something outside. Her behavior becomes increasingly erratic. She steps in and out of the elevator several times, makes strange hand gestures as if communicating with an unseen presence, and eventually steps out of the elevator for the last time, disappearing from view. The video ends with the elevator doors finally closing. The footage sparked intense public interest and led to a flurry of online speculation. Some believed Elisa was being followed or was under the influence of drugs, while others suggested more supernatural explanations. The strange behavior captured in the video, combined with the ominous history of the Cecil Hotel, led to countless theories about what might have happened to Elisa Lam. As the investigation into Elisa's disappearance continued, guests at the Cecil Hotel began to complain about the water. They reported that the water was discolored, had an unusual taste, and the pressure was extremely low. Concerned about these reports, the hotel management decided to check the rooftop water tanks. What they found was horrifying: Elisa Lam's lifeless body floating in one of the tanks. The discovery raised more questions than it answered. How had Elisa managed to access the rooftop, which was secured and locked? How did she get into the water tank, which had heavy lids that would be difficult to open from the inside? The autopsy revealed no signs of physical trauma or foul play, and toxicology reports showed only traces of her prescription medication used to treat her bipolar disorder. The official cause of death was ruled as accidental drowning, but the circumstances surrounding her death remain a mystery. Theories about what happened to Elisa Lam abound. Some believe she experienced a psychotic episode due to her mental health condition, leading her to accidentally enter the water tank. Others suggest she was the victim of foul play, though no evidence has been found to support this. More outlandish theories propose that the hotel's dark history somehow played a role in her death, with some even claiming supernatural forces were at work. Despite exhaustive investigation, the true events leading to Elisa Lam's death remain unknown, leaving a chilling and unresolved mystery that continues to captivate and haunt those who hear her story. The story of Elisa Lam has had a profound impact on popular culture and the public consciousness. Her tragic and mysterious death has been the subject of numerous documentaries, podcasts, and online discussions, each attempting to piece together the puzzle of what happened to her. The Cecil Hotel, already infamous for its dark history, has become even more notorious as a result, with many people believing the building itself may be cursed or haunted. Elisa's story resonates with many because it touches on universal fears: fear of the unknown, fear of losing control, and fear of being alone in a strange place. Her death also highlights important issues related to mental health and how those struggling with mental illness can be vulnerable in ways that are not always immediately apparent. For many, the story of Elisa Lam is a reminder of the fragile nature of life and the mysteries that remain unsolved in our world. The Cecil Hotel has since rebranded, attempting to distance itself from its notorious past, but the building remains a symbol of the darker side of Los Angeles. As for Elisa Lam, her name continues to evoke a sense of unease and curiosity, a tragic figure whose story remains as mysterious as the day she disappeared.